Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode
15.
Thank you for that, because I forgot. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry, a little bit late tonight. I had some family stuff I had to attend to, and nothing bad. It was good. It was all good.
Good stuff.
Good. Celebration. So that's why we're a little bit late. But thank you so much for joining us. As always, you can go to the Gig Economy show.com for all things gig economy podcast related, and you can sign up for the newsletter. I want to thank our Patreon members: Samson, Bud, Steve, Omar, Delivery Cats, Frank, Jamie, Tom, Jim, Miguel, and Linda, our newest member of the crew. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm having click problems. There we go. For the $5 tier, you get pre-show ramble, and you got an extra one this week because I pulled some pre-show ramble from an interview we did about a month ago. That was pretty good. I think we talked about Larry's bee adventure. And then for the $10 tier, you get that, plus you get a piece of merch after 3 months. You get an extra podcast a month, ad-free episodes, all that good stuff. So check it out if you'd like to support the show. We would really appreciate it. And then one other thing that we have is a Telegram group, which is kind of like a chat group. Mm-hmm. And Larry's going to tell you about that.
Yeah, so it's like a text chat group where you can chat back and forth, but you can also do voice messages. So it's really good if you're out working, you're driving, you don't want to be texting and driving, but it's pretty easy to push a button and talk into the phone just like you're talking to somebody. So yeah, we use that. We have gig workers from all over the country, all over the world. We get in there and we talk about gig work. We talk about how our day's going, about new bonuses. We talk about the smelly passengers we have. We talk about everything. And then sometimes we just, shoot the breeze and talk about what's going on in our life. But it's a good way to get to know other drivers, not feel like you're so alone, because it can be a lonely job out there on the road. So we'd love to have you join the Telegram group.
Yeah, for sure. The link is in the description of everything you're listening on. Just join in and say hello and where you're from. I think we had somebody join in the last couple of days.
We did. We did.
Abe. We hadn't responded back. That's okay. We're fine with lurkers. Don't feel like you have to chat it up. That's totally fine. So, stories from the road. Larry, looks like you had a pretty eventful weekend. I'll just say real quick, I did not do any flex over the weekend. I did 4 days of flex last week after work. Went okay. Was happy with it. But then the weekend they got stingy and they didn't do much. And so I got up 4:30 Saturday morning and 4:30 Sunday morning to try to get a route. Nada. So it's a little disappointing, but let's hear about your fun weekend. I see some clip notes.
So it was Parents Weekend at Western Kentucky University this weekend, and they always do that on a football game. They had a football game at 6:00. They were playing Toledo of Ohio, who had not lost a regular season game in like their last 15 games.
Oh wow!
So it was going to be a good game. And Parents Weekend is one of my favorite weekends, right up there with homecoming. It's always a very, very busy weekend. A lot of parents come in, and it's really fun because not only do I get to see some of my repeat passengers, I get to meet their parents a lot of times. And these kids, man, I had some of them, but they are just straightforward with their parents. I just had one girl, and I've had her several times, and we got in the car. She's like, "Oh, Larry, I can't believe we got you. Mom and Dad, this is Larry. When me and my friends get trashed, he takes care of us. He gets us home." And they're like, "Oh," and the guy was like, "Thank you for taking care of my daughter." He shook my hand, I was like, "Oh, wow, that's what we do."
That's very cool. I would be worried. They'd be like, "Who's this guy?"
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, probably the fourth time on a Parents Weekend that I've had a guy say, "Thanks for looking out for my, my little girl," and shaking my hand and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's like, "We're going to be needing to ride later. Can I message you?" I was like, "Yeah, just message me on Instagram, and I'll come get y'all tonight."
You're like, are the parents going to be drunk too? They're like, "We're going to drink, Larry, pick us up."
That's usually what it is. About 11 o'clock, you start picking up the parents because they can't hang with the youngsters. So you start taking them back to the hotel room, and the kids are going on to the next bar. That happens very frequently. But very busy day. I went home. Kickoff was 6:00. I went home to eat about 6:30 because that's, go try to grab a bite to eat while I race at the game. I I go to go back out drive and turn on the radio to listen to the game,
Mhm.
and the announcer's speaking and just talking and talking. I was like, man, he's talking forever. What is going on? And
Yeah.
notice it was like started lightning. It was
Oh.
lightning like crazy. They had an hour and 15-minute lightning delay. By the time I got back out from supper, everybody was gone from the game. I know I missed like a good hour surge that I would have killed, but
Oh,
still had
no.
a really, really good day. I mean, it was almost like a New Year's Eve. It was a good
Dang,
day.
dude.
Yeah, some of the biggest surges I've seen in Bowling Green, and they some of them were sticking around for a little bit, not the kind that disappear, after 30 seconds or something like that. So yeah, very, very good day. I enjoyed it.
Why do you think that it was like the highest surges you've seen? Now,
There
obviously,
was a lot of people there. I mean, our South Lawn where they tailgate, I've never seen that many people. And the announcers on the radio were saying, we've never seen the tailgate this big.
hmm,
They really, I think they've got a good football team this year.
okay.
Um, uh, and they were really, really promoting it. It's like, and people will say it, they come here from big cities and they're like, it has the feel of like a big time
Wow.
tailgate, a big time school, which is cool because when I was young, there was no such thing as tailgate. You just, you went to the game and that was it. But
Yeah.
it's neat. It's it's pretty much an all day affair. But I also figured out the other day that it must be for TV purposes. They're having homecoming on a Wednesday night. On a Wednesday night.
The
What are you?
game, the homecoming game's on the
The
Wednesday.
homecoming game. We're having a pre-concert, a pre-show concert by Florida. Is that how you
No,
pronounce his
it's
name? Yeah.
Florida.
Florida. I don't know. It's not my music. Florida, whatever it is.
I love
Anyway, he's going to be there singing. Last year we had, no, it was 2 years ago. We had Shaq.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And what was so funny though, our DJ Diesel, as he's known when he's DJing, half the kids that I had that day had no idea he used to be a basketball player. They just know him as DJ Diesel. They had no idea he was a basketball player.
Yeah, he's come to Electric Forest up here in Michigan.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He's a great DJ. He loves it.
He's
He's
into so many businesses, man. He's a good businessman.
He's a good guy too.
Yeah.
Like he gives a lot of money away and takes care of kids. And like, I really love Shaq.
So yeah, we had Cage the Elephant one year, but I mean, they're from here. They're from Bowling Green, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, but on a Wednesday, like the concert starts at 5. Like I don't even get off work till 4. Yeah, I mean, who can come into town in a Wednesday for homecoming? I mean, that's all. Homecoming's all about all the people, all the alumni coming in for the game and the weekend. Who can do that on a Wednesday?
So I think it'll be huge. I really do.
So?
If they're that good this year and you had such a great turnout for this last game, I bet it'll be huge.
But see, that's the thing about on homecoming. I mean, if the game's usually like at 1 or 2, like I can go out at 8 that morning. It's busy. I'm not going to have that whole day to drive like it. Like I mean, I'll have from like when I get off work at 4 until maybe 2, 3 in the morning. But it's just not not as long a time.
It sounds like you need to take a half day.
That is a possibility, my friend.
Feeling a little ill.
No, they know I drive. They'd put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, they'd figure it out.
Yeah, and then also, my clickbait teaser on there. I did have a puker this week. It was yesterday. So my son's going a little stir crazy, recuperating in the bonus rooms. He's like, "Hey, can you take me, Dad? Can we go out to Barnes and Noble?" Because I've told him like when you feel like you're ready to get out. So I don't know why he's been getting nauseous a little bit since the surgery, but he threw up the other night upstairs in the bed. And of course he's got to, when he has to get up and go anywhere, he's got to get up and get on his scooter. So he did not make it. So that was a little bit of a mess I got to clean up. But we're coming back from Barnes and Noble last night. And, he had a tea and we're coming back. He's like, "I'm not feeling too good, Dad." It's a puke bag right there in the side door pocket, man. Handed to it. And like 6 or 7 times, man. He was puking hard. He was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "Dude, you can't help it. It's not like not like you were out drinking or something,
Right. Well, when you said you had a puker on Tuesday night, I'm like, were you out like late on Tuesday night?
Yeah. So it was my son, but we got him some anti-nausea medicine. Hopefully it's going to help him out.
Yeah. Is it the pain meds that are giving him the nausea?
Which we really don't know. He said it seems like it's happening around the same time. I'm like, "You're not taking your pain med on an empty stomach?" He's like, No, I'm not. I'm he's not sure what's causing it. So hopefully it will go away.
Yeah, being nauseous is the absolute worst.
It is.
I would rather have diarrhea. I'd rather have so many more things than being
Yes.
nauseous. It's
Yes.
just the worst.
It is, and then when you puke, it hurts so bad.
Oh, yeah, well, and the worst part is too is if you don't puke, you
Yeah, you just
can't
keep
eat,
feeling nauseous. Yeah. Oh,
you're
yeah. I will
hungry, but
stick my finger down my throat and make
yeah,
myself puke.
to get it done with, like,
Yeah, get
it's
it
the
over.
worst.
'Cause,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, an hour later, he's ready to eat,
yeah,
he's like, "Yeah, can I get some of that quiche?"
yeah. You're like, "Take it easy, bro. Here's an
Yeah.
extra barf bag."
Exactly. Keep that I did. I gave him one to keep with him, and he actually went out to, his mom was taking him to see the Superman or Christopher Reeve documentary tonight because
Okay,
it would have been Christopher Reeve's, birthday today, and he's a
okay.
big Superman fan. So they were going out to, get something to eat and go to the movie. So I sent one with him. I'm like, "Here, don't be throwing up in your mom's car." She was not gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, yeah. No one likes random
Yeah,
puke, so.
especially she has her car is, less than a month old, I think.
Oh, yeah, I don't wanna do that.
Nope.
So
Mm,
Gig economy in the news.
yes.
So I heard this on another podcast, and I
Mhm.
don't know why we didn't talk about it, but it got posted like 15 days ago, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we didn't talk about it. It's just kind of an interesting thing about DoorDash. Most DoorDash gig workers spend a surprisingly short time doing the job, which was kind of obvious, not obvious, but so a couple of the stats, roughly 7 million people worked as delivery contractors for DoorDash in 2023, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
S Knowing that it's just in the United States, I'm pretty sure they may have it in Canada.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. This is what really shocked me, and this is like, we need to, like, maybe take our shirts off now for our podcast. The majority of them were women, millennials, according to the data from the company. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. And an overwhelming majority also average just a few hours a week. Um, it turns out the people that hand your orders are overwhelmingly young women and part-timers, according to the delivery service. It says about 7 million made deliveries, but surprisingly, most of them average only a few hours a week on the gig. 72% of DoorDash gig
Mm,
workers devoted less than 4 hours a week to making deliveries, according to the company. That figure includes just the time that gig workers spend on a delivery, including downtime between orders. About 62% of workers spent less than 4 hours. So very low
yeah,
amounts.
that's smaller than I would have,
Me too.
expected.
So what can you make on uh 4 hours of DoorDash? I mean, $50. I mean, are people just looking for some bar money? Are they looking for
I think it's people
whatnot?
are doing rideshare and they just gotta take a break. Like
You
I can't
think?
deal with people right now, so I gotta do some food delivery for a little bit.
Yeah, I was shocked by that stat and the woman thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe they were just doing it when their kids are in school. And I mean, it is really better, and this is gonna come off sexist, and I'm not meaning it that way, but it is safer for women to do delivery than rideshare. I
For
mean,
sure.
getting stuck in a car with a random stranger, and there's creepy guys out there, and it's not. Again, I'm not trying to be sexist. Like, I wouldn't want my daughter or wife doing rideshare.
Yeah, you want me picking up 4 drunk frat guys, not
You would hope everyone acts like a gentleman and
yeah.
respectful, but that doesn't always happen. So,
That does not. And I just did a quick glance here. Said DoorDash says that DoorDash operates in many cities across the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
okay.
So
Well, I didn't know that.
yeah,
Very
Janet could have
cool.
told us that.
Geez, Janet, come on.
Chime in. Help.
You're our basically our only contact in New Zealand. We need all gig information from New Zealand. You need to
Exactly.
send us it. Hey, Josh, what's up? Hey, I messaged you on Reddit, or sorry, not Reddit, Discord. I don't think it's the right Josh or but anyways, I know you guys were talking about a Discord place that you chatted up, so I was trying to find that. But anyways, if you see a message from me, say what's up on Discord, even though I just turned it off. Anyways, so yeah, that it really did make me think though about the show, because I'm like, we're just a new show. We don't cater to men by any means, but we don't really, I don't know. I guess it was just an interesting statistic. I was like, I
Yeah.
would never have thought about that. We don't have a lot of women on the live stream. I know that. And Bubba Sue maybe is like the only one.
Yeah.
There's a few that are in our Telegram chat, but like I haven't just been like super active. But anyways, thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is very interesting to say the least.
Right. So like I said, 4 hours a week, getting back to that real quick, is just, again, you're making like $50, maybe 60, 75 bucks.
I mean, just like, half a day,
I mean,
is it just the rest of the time?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's maybe them just need just that little bit to pay a bill or something. And they're like, okay, I don't need to do this anymore, which is great. That's what gig work's for.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no reason to kill yourself if you don't need to. All right, Larry, talk about Olive Garden, which is what?
Yeah,
I don't understand these exclusive,
partnerships.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
So Darden Restaurants, which owns Olive Garden and a lot of other restaurants, it signed a multi-year delivery partnership with Uber Direct. That's going to start late in 2024. Said they've kind of resisted entering the outside party delivery market, but said they're going to have an initial delivery pilot from a limited number of Olive Garden locations. If the pilot is deemed successful, they'll do a national expansion to be complete by May of 2025. It says once live, customers will be able to order delivery through Olive Garden's website and smartphone app at more than 900 company-owned locations. So guests have been asking us for home delivery options, and they continue to show they're willing to pay for the inconvenience. As we continue to evaluate delivery, it's important for us to find a way to address this guest need state without disrupting the team member or guest experience and without compromising our competitive advantage. So Uber's a partner we believe shares that vision and can meet our expectations.
So a couple things. One, I didn't know Olive Garden didn't deliver. I thought everyone did.
I don't think so. No, I don't think Olive Garden does.
So that Uber Direct, is that something new?
I did Google that. It seems like it's just kind of part of Uber Eats, kind of the Uber Eats, the Uber Connect world. They kind of blur the lines between a lot of this stuff. It wasn't real clear to me.
Oh, great.
But yeah, I think it would be delivered by Uber Eats drivers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it the standard Uber Eats, or is it a little bit more like it's a higher rated driver? Or
no, I didn't see any information about that when I was investigating. But so Darden owns Olive Garden, Longhorn, Yard House, Ruth Chris, Cheddar's, Capitol Grill, Season 52, Eddie V's, Bahama Breeze, among other restaurants.
Most of those I've never even heard of.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So we have Olive Garden, we have Longhorn. We don't have Ruth Chris, but I've heard of it. We have a Cheddar's.
We have a Ruth Chris.
Yeah, we do have a Cheddar's too.
No, never heard of them either.
Yeah, pretty good. So yeah. I'm sure if it's successful, I'm sure we'll hear more about it.
Well, if I can get those breadsticks delivered to me, I mean,
that's dangerous,
dude. I mean, aren't they the best? I mean, someone may argue me the best bread out there in the restaurants. Like, I think that's the cat's meow.
When you douse that much butter on it, I mean, how can it not be?
I mean, I know every time I go to eat there, is like for lunch, I just get the soup, salad, and breadsticks. That's all I get. Yeah, and I don't know why they're trying to be fancy. All it is microwave pasta. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's good, but it's not like it's super fancy or anything.
Right. No, I agree 100%.
But I'm excited about the breadsticks. I'll be honest with you.
They are really dangerously good.
Yes. All right. Here is a video. I totally forgot what.
The ride's over. You guys are gonna go.
Okay, this is a guy that kicks people out. There's really not a lot around it. It's just more of a like, oh God, we're seeing this shit again.
Oh yeah, it's the political stuff. We'll see.
Okay, we'll play it.
The ride's over. You guys are gonna go. You can request another ride.
Fuck you.
Bullshit. Okay.
Are you really for Biden?
No, neither. I don't talk about this.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
Okay, well, that's fine. You know what? You probably should. Because people want to know. Okay, like who am I riding with? Am I riding with the conservative? Am I riding with the liberal?
Why does that matter?
Biden?
Why does that matter?
Because we're in fucking Idaho, and if you want to live in this state, you better be on our...
very conservative state. You know, you need to
go back to your home state.
Step up. Like
that's
right.
Yeah, go back to your
home state.
Why did you move here? Why did you move here?
This is the wrong way to go, by the way.
Oh, the ride's over. You guys are getting out.
Oh, it is. Where?
Right here. You can request another ride.
Fuck you.
We pissed them
You
off.
take us home, or I'm going to give you the worst rating ever.
Oh, yeah, he'll get better.
Please do so.
We're very popular in this area.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's okay.
The ride's over.
Okay?
That's okay.
You're
fucking
welcome.
asshole.
Let's get him.
I hope you have a good
You are a
night.
dick.
You're a fucking dick.
You know
okay?
what?
You're
Your name's going to be shamed.
Thank you.
Because we're very...
I give you
we're
a
very
5-star
popular.
rating.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to change it to a 1-star rating.
Thank
okay?
you.
So, first of all, she's beautiful. I don't care.
But yeah, my gosh.
Yeah, she's hot. Yeah,
but they're both jerks.
They're both
my
jerks.
gosh.
Like, it's almost like I guarantee if they were like Latino, or if he was Latino or black, they would be racist. I mean, it's got that written all over it.
Yeah.
And what do we always say?
Yeah.
Don't talk about politics.
Exactly. Yeah. Why are you asking about that? Well, what does it matter? And then they're like, oh, we're going to laugh when the guys say, I'm going to give you the worst rating ever.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the driver, he handled it. I don't think I would not have stayed that calm as he did. He was just like, thank you. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night. You know,
he like, unless he edited some of that out.
Yeah.
He was so calm. Like, I even watched his eyes. He's just like, okay, well, we're done.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Your ride's over. And yeah, the guy's like, oh, you need to talk about it. People want to know. Who cares if people want to know?
Well,
that's not none of their business.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up because I'll have kids on the bus now, not older kids, but my elementary kids are like, who are you voting for?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we don't talk about that. Well, what do you mean? I was like, it's a hot topic. So I don't talk about that at school. You shouldn't either.
Yeah, and you know, there's a reason we vote in private, and nobody gets to see your vote.
Yeah, for sure. Steve, thanks for gifting those memberships. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, it's too bad too. Because when I grew up, we talked about politics at school.
Yeah.
We talked about the system and how it works. And like, we had mock elections on who was running. Like, it was a whole thing.
And that was back in the day when you could talk about it. You could have, you could say, you know, and you could talk about who you wanted, and then somebody else would be for the other person. You could discuss the issues. And I mean, the politicians did back then. I mean, there's a lot of them back then. They would, you know, they would fight each other on Capitol Hill, but then they would go out to dinner at night and, you know, be able to talk civilly. Now it's like, it's either my way or you're Satan incarnate.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It is. It's bad.
And I hate people like that. Like, they feel like they're elitist.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're big names here. We're important.
When she said that, I was like, oh my God.
You such a bee.
I know. She's gorgeous though. I gotta give her that.
But when they have that attitude, man, I couldn't care less.
No. Yeah, I would be. If I was in that car, I would have been way more feisty than that guy was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think I could have been.
Well, I think what was nice is he realized that they were pretty intoxicated, and this was going to go downhill real fast.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna pull over here. Your ride's over. You can request another ride. Have a good night.
Yeah. Just be smart out there if you're a new driver. The guy did the right thing. Is just like Larry said. Not worth it, not worth your time. And if you cancel them, they can't rate you anyway. So it's like,
and he didn't antagonize him at all. He was very polite. He didn't engage. Just pull over and your ride's over. Y'all have a good night.
For sure. Yeah. All right, Larry. Oh gosh, here we go.
I
was gonna. Oh fuck, I gotta pull that. When you start talking about this, I'm gonna try to pull that video I shared. I forgot to do that.
Okay, so we've all heard about Waymo, out in California and in out on the West Coast for the most part. But they're also going to launch in Atlanta and in Austin, Texas. But they're partnering with Uber. And the big news about this one, why it's so different, is because in the out west, Waymo is the one who takes care of the cars and the depot where all the cars are at. But in this case, they're Uber is going to be the one taking care of that, which is very different. Very different than we're used to, because Uber is the technology company. They don't have the infrastructure. They usually don't have people that are going to be out there. And you got to think about it. People have to charge these cars. They have to clean these cars. And they talk about it in here too. They're wanting to build these depots in places. We don't have the infrastructure for it. They built one out west, and it took them a year before they could get enough power there to power all their chargers.
No.
Yeah. So what they ended up doing is they ended up bringing I'm trying to find this in here. They ended up bringing in some kind of hydrogen system.
Well, here's the thing. When you're building these things, you should, not that the solar could power it, but I'm a huge proponent of solar. Like, why is you're building this giant thing, put solar on there to kind of help the load.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, geez, but that doesn't surprise me in California. Just, they already have electrical issues.
Yeah. It says it's still, it talks about there's a lot to do at the depot. And one problem to solve is how to keep a large fleet of electric robo-taxis charged. Right now, there's no charging stations that have a robotic plug or full service charger jockey to plug the cars in. Waymo needs to have staff at their depots to do this job. They also inspect the cars, they clean them, and says that, the cars are going to need a lot of charging. If they need power during peak business times, you want them back on the road fast. Even though overnight they can charge slowly, like most drivers do at home during off hours. But making a charging depot for hundreds of cars is no tiny feat. This calls for many megawatts of power, which is not commonly available at all locations. Cruise, for example, put in a charging depot and found it could not get power installed for a year. They ended up building a system where they truck in hydrogen to run fuel cells to make electricity, an expensive and inefficient solution.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I go back to the same hypothesis or theory that we're going to be buying these cars. We're going to be maintaining them. We're going to, just like we do now. You know what I mean? Because, like, again, the amount of money that has to go into those depots or whatever, and you're still going to have to staff them, like you said. I mean, I guess you could figure out a way. Maybe in 20 years that, you could drive over a pad and it could wirelessly charge, but it's still not going to be fast.
Yeah. And I mean, they talk about it in here. There is wireless recharging, but it's very expensive.
Oh, very expensive. Well,
yes.
Yeah, just like anything.
Yes.
So there's an app out there. I saw that you can rent out your charger. It's like Airbnb. Like, I could rent out my charger here and charge what I wanted, which is fine and all right. That's great.
Yeah.
But it's a level 2 charger. It doesn't charge very fast. So I don't even know why someone would want to connect to my charger, because then I'd have a car, unless they like dropped it off and went somewhere. But like,
yeah, you want some car in your driveway.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very weird. Like, I guess if you had a fast charger, but no one has a fast charger at their home. It's like 300. Right. It's like a huge piece of electric to go in there. Like, your home can't handle a fast charger. So I'm not sure why would somebody do it, but I do follow a guy on TikTok that has a design that's trying to eliminate I know this is a little jumping off here because it's EV.
Yeah.
But getting little charging boxes to people that park on the street, because the problem is, if you live in an apartment or whatever, you can't charge. And so you're stuck with a supercharger, which honestly, if you're regular charging a supercharger, it's almost as much as, I mean, it's a little bit cheaper than gas, but
not a lot.
It's a lot more than at home. So it's kind of cool. It's like a little post that goes to the curb and it runs from the house somewhere or the apartment, and you can charge right on the street. But, but yeah, I really think we're going to end up, Uber's going to be like, hey, a new opportunity. You can buy a car with that. But again, the price is going to have to come down. We're not buying Jaguars.
For sure. Yeah. And, they talk about that in here, again, the luxury cars, the Waymo cars are currently luxury Jaguars.
So I did hear on that, the show that I was listening to too, is I don't know if it's Uber or somebody wants to partner with Hyundai to make driverless cars. It's Hyundai, because they who was it? Damn it.
Hyundai.
Google that, Hyundai and driverless, because I think they wanted to, I think maybe it was Waymo, that they wanted to not work on building their car. They wanted to work on like the self-driving Waymo and self-driving Hyundai.
Let's see here.
What did I say?
Hyundai.
Where did I hear that? Oh yeah, here we go. 7 days ago, Waymo in talks with Hyundai Motor to produce self-driving taxis, media report says.
Okay.
Says officials at Waymo and Hyundai Motors have met more than 3 times to discuss a plan to use Hyundai's Ioniq 5 electric vehicles for Waymo's 6th generation self-driving technology. The report said adding the plan includes replacing offerings from China's Zeekr with the Ioniq 5 models. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about. They're not going to be able to afford to have Jaguars. Yeah, it looks really nice and fancy now, and they're slick vehicles, but over time, you're going to have to put it on a cheap vehicle.
Yeah. And I guess, go ahead.
I was going to say, mark my words. I think at some point down the road, Uber's going to be like, hey, do you want to buy a car and have it self-driving or something?
Yeah. No, I agree. And apparently, Hyundai's been looking at it for a little bit, because the article I pulled up, the headline is driverless Hyundai Ioniq 5 robo taxis are coming to whisk you away before you know it. And this was from November of 2023.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's obviously just kind of resurfaced again.
Yeah. And it's it's an interesting looking car. It's not a bad looking car.
Oh, I didn't even see the picture. Did you go to Reuters? Did you go to the site?
No, this is the article. It's on Motor Trend.
Okay. Well, it said it was going to use the Ioniq 5. It's I don't know. I'm not sure I would. Hyundai doesn't have the best reputation for reliability on things. Yeah. The same with, and don't hate me if you have a Kia. I know there's Kias, but you see Kia Motors getting replaced all the time. You know what I mean? No, I don't know about the electric. I haven't heard anything bad about the Kia electric, but I know Hyundai and Kia aren't the greatest when it comes to that kind of stuff. I mean, honestly, it boils down to Toyota and Honda if you want reliable cars. But fun fact for you, and I may have said this before, but the new Honda EV actually has Chevy's battery system in it.
Oh, really?
Yes. They didn't even make their own. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing for me that Honda's trusting Chevy's battery system in their car. I don't know. That makes me kind of happy.
Well, yeah. That should make you feel good.
Because that's what I have in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Here we are. This picture from... Here we go. This is kind of funny. And maybe, have we seen... We've probably shared this, haven't we?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
It says, I don't see anywhere in the store closed option. It says, closed for sex. Be back in 30 minutes. And of course, the hilarity continues on a joke that I would say is, let me get to the comments.
Oh, the comments, yeah.
What the hell do you need 30 minutes before? 5 minutes, I think you're... Oh, so it says 5 seconds above par dick and 5 minutes of heavy breathing, 22 minutes and 55 minutes of cuddling, 3 minutes to get a Slurpee.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like 2 minutes of sex, 28-minute nap,
Yeah. So funny. People put that stuff up, and I'm just it's got to be a joke though, right?
Yeah, that's people were talking about in the comments too. Like probably, somebody's working there and their buddy came by and they're going to take a break, and his buddy's like, "Yeah, let's put this on there."
They're not really. That's not really happening, because if it is, you're not going to put that on there, because your boss is going to roll up and then be like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" So, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, moving on. So we have a new advertiser. It's not really an advertiser. We're doing a promo swap. So we are doing with LegalRideshare, and we've actually had them as a sponsor on the show before. Right. And they have a podcast now. So which is super awesome. You can go check out their YouTube channel at LegalRideshare every week. This Week in Rideshare, they do that. Where is my fucking other banner that I was going to use? I don't know. Anyways, it's TWIR. Check them out. So LegalRideshare is the first law firm in the United States that honestly focus exclusively on Uber, Lyft, gig workers, delivery, and e-scooter accidents and injuries. Obviously, consultations are always free. Check them out at LegalRideshare.com. Links in the description. And then their weekly podcast, YouTube, This Week in Rideshare, where they cover the latest rideshare-related news every Friday, which is exactly what we do. And I'll be honest with you, the first story today was from their podcast because I was listening to it while I was mowing the lawn. I was like, okay, I can check this out. And it was, it's a great little, it's quick. It's not like ours is 60 minutes. Theirs is like 15 minutes. They bang it out real quick and moving on. Thanks, Christina, for the super sticker.
Yeah, thank you, Christina.
Appreciate it. Why do you have Grubhub crossed out? Do you hate Grubhub? So yeah, Legal Rideshare, check them out. Obviously, if you're in an accident, we have always advised you should reach out to them before you talk. I mean, obviously you have to tell Uber, but before you say anything or commit to anything, reach out to an attorney because chances are you didn't screw up and somebody else did.
Yeah, at least get the free consultation.
Yeah, absolutely, because
nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Absolutely. So check them out. And check out their show. They live stream it too, which is good. Yes. So I don't remember what time they live stream it. It's gonna drive me nuts now. Let me see. We got so many emails back and forth. Maybe I should just go to their YouTube channel. That probably tells it. I know it's on Friday. Let me check. Let me see. Doesn't say. So we'll check it out anyway.
Christina says she loves Grubhub. They deactivated her without cause after 3 years of working at 3 days a week.
Those fuckers. I don't understand those apps. God, I hate that. Like, this is a good example, which I'm sure you probably have figured it out, but that you probably had, diversified yourself so that when they did kind of cancel. I've never even heard of people getting deactivated from Grubhub.
You should call Legal Rideshare.
No, I don't know if they're going to help with that.
They might.
I don't know. They're accident attorneys, so I don't know if they're going to help with the activations. Although that would be nice. That'd be nice. But check them out. I really enjoyed listening. And it's Jared and Bryant, who's the lead attorney. Bryant is the lead attorney for Legal Rideshare. So check them out. Let's see. What do we got? What's next?
Next is we have a husband. He posted this on Reddit.
I just see this shit. I'm like, we just gotta talk about it.
Yeah, there's so much more going on here. This has absolutely nothing to do really with Uber or Lyft. But yeah, it is funny. So this guy posted on Reddit. He said, "How in the heck do I get my wife banned from using the Uber app? She uses it as a personal chauffeur service, and we can't afford it. Like going without meals, can't afford it. Thinking about leaving her over, can't afford it. She works 0.03 miles. I wonder if he meant to say 3 miles or 0.3 miles, but 0.03 miles from where we live.
I don't think
Uber's there and back. That's like 500 feet. So she works 0.03 miles from where we live. She Ubers there and back every day. She Ubers everywhere, even if the place is next door. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but we're in a rough patch, living in a little roach motel. And I'm trying to have goals like getting a car. And if I could just get her off that stupid app for a few weeks, we could save enough to make changes toward a better future. Reasoning with her or attempts to get her to cut back have failed. Please help." So, of course, the comments, the very first comment sums it up. So this is a marriage problem, not an Uber problem. And then you get people down here. The comment I like best was he just said, "Just ride with her everywhere and insult the driver constantly. get her banned." and
that'll work.
Yeah, that got upvoted quite a bit. And somebody's like, "Yep, this may be the answer." So yeah, you just ride with her and puke in their car and call them names and ask them who they're voting for.
Somebody's like, either this isn't a real person, he's dumb and as her and can't be helped. I mean, I hope it's not I hope it's a joke, but like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why it would be a joke. I feel like this guy, it's true. And he's just like, Reddit's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. They tell him like, "Look, dude, you either got this is on," he's like, one of them's like, "This is on you. You're looking for ways to avoid this fight, but it needs to happen." There's bigger things going on here than the Uber app.
You're living in a roach motel.
Yeah. And you got to be able to agree on Yeah, if it's really 0.03 miles and she's taking an Uber there and back, yeah, that's a discussion you need to have today.
Yes. How many miles or how many feet? We're gonna do a guess. How many feet is 0.03?
I'd say 525.
Okay, let's see. Oh, you're not even close.
What is it?
The guy on the Reddit was close. It's 158 feet, 0.4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I thought it would be a lot farther than that. Because it's 0.3 of a mile, right? Oh, no. It's
0.03. 300ths of a mile.
300ths of a mile. Yeah. Okay. 0.03. Yeah. Because I was going to say, like, at 310, I was like, because what is a mile?
5,275 feet or something like that.
Okay. So it's 300ths of a mile. Okay. There's no way he must have meant like
that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
That's got to be
150.
Yeah, 158 feet. That is not even all the way across the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure people get food delivered 300ths of a mile, like if it's across the street.
Yeah, but I mean that'd be an Uber ride. That'd be one of those where Uber's like you didn't move.
Yeah, you'd have to drive around. You'd have to drive around the block. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
All right. All right. More EV talk. Nerding out. I honestly, Josh, if you're still in here, honestly, what I reach out to you is like, I need somebody to do an EV podcast with. We'll make it short, but we'll talk about EV, but associated with the gig economy. So it'd be like a little bit of a crossover, for sure. So, I'd be interested in that. That's why I kind of reached out on Discord. But anyways, hit me up. Send me an email, gigeconomyshow.com. Okay, Lyft partners with Smart Car to help its EV drivers work without range anxiety. Lyft continues to empower its gig economy drivers by tackling a significant pain point for its current base of EV drivers, range anxiety. With the help of the API platform, Smart Car, Lyft has introduced a new feature that only enables ride requests with the driver's available EV range, which, okay, is it actually going to work just like their destination filters?
Yeah. Now, doesn't Uber already do this?
They might. I remember something
talking about it
vaguely about it. Lyft recognized these advantages early on, has made strides to help promote EV adoption by incentivizing drivers to go electric while simultaneously implementing incentives to alleviate some pain points that currently plague the industry. I'll be honest with you, that's bullshit with Lyft. California is the only state that they give the EV dollar to.
Really?
So at least the last time I emailed them, because when I got my car, I thought, oh, cool, I can get $1 on Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
I emailed them. They're like, nope, unless you live in California, you don't get the $1.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. So anyways, so the Smart Car announced that it's partnered with Lyft to kind of help you with that. And just basically you won't get a ride that's over your current battery range. They give it a 20-mile buffer to do that. So, I mean, it's kind of cool.
If it works.
So an API, I've seen that. I don't know what API stands for, but that's something.
Their API, that's a way you integrate programs. Software term. Yeah.
Right. So my guess is just an app that you just like connect your car to.
Yeah, an API is an application programming interface. So it's the code that connects like Waymo would have their app and the Uber app. It's a way for them to talk and exchange data.
Yeah. I guess my only problem with that is Chevy is very particular on who they let have data on that. Like I tried to, there was another app I tried to connect with it. They're like, nope, we don't do that. You're not allowed to have it. I'm like, what? Like I'm asking you, like, why won't you let me do it? So, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to actually try it. I want to try it, even though I'm not doing rideshare, just to see how it works.
Yeah. That'd be cool to test out.
But the range anxiety is a true thing. It really is.
I'm sure it is.
Because the problem is because there's not a charging station around the corner. And Grand Rapids, for being the second biggest city in the state, we suck over here with chargers. I mean, honestly, they're not great. They're not plentiful.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I can't imagine how bad it would be with an electric car. I get it with a gasoline car sometimes when I'm driving. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I might have to stop here soon.
Well, there's a gas station brand in Michigan here in the area called J&H Mobile. They've adopted the EV chargers. Every one of their J&H Mobiles, and I may have talked about this too, has a charger. In fact, there's one on the way to the cabin, which is in some random off the highway. There's 2 chargers there. And I don't know why most gas stations don't. I mean, like, you might as well double dip, right? Obviously you're still going to have a lot of people getting gas, majority of people. Why not?
Yeah. And if they're charging, they're going to come in and get a snack or something probably.
Yeah. Especially my car, because it charges slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they have such a huge advantage with charging to build these stations with restaurants, and it could be a whole thing. Buc-ee's has got their thing going on. Buc-ee's should have fucking charging stations up the yin yang. I mean, they really should. It's kind of like people are dragging their feet on this. It's not going away.
No, it's not. And, it may have slowed down, but it'll pick back up. And a lot of it depends on what happens next month or November.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you're right. I don't think it's going to go away. Depending on what happened in November, it could slow it down or it'll just
speed
explode.
It up.
It'll explode again. So it's not going away. But anyways, Josh and Steve are having a fight in here. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So it looks like someone got their money back after a scam, which I thought was pretty cool.
I thought this had to be clickbait or something, The Onion, maybe. Yeah, we know this never happens, but this happened in Maryville, Tennessee, which is not too far from here. But Uber confirmed it will pay back $1,300 to a Maryville Uber driver scammed out of that same amount. As a one-time courtesy, we were able to reapply the earnings that were stolen, Uber said. So this driver, George, had driven for Uber on and off for around 6 years, said he drove for hours every day during the first week of September. He said he understands how scams work and how they start with asking for personal information, but said he didn't give any information away, but it didn't matter. He said they knew my name, they knew my account, they knew how long I've been driving, my rating, everything. He said he was given a card number in order to get a bonus. Then he waited to get his payment as usual, and the money didn't get paid on Tuesday. Then it showed cashed out Sunday night, he said. He started looking to see if any others had been scammed the same way, and he found 2 Uber drivers in Nashville who'd also been scammed, one losing almost $600. Said he's been in contact with Uber since he realized the scam, and he's still working to get his money back. He said, it's going to leave me pretty low because this is all I do. This is the second guy he's talking about. So in messages between Uber support and George, Uber said there was no evidence his account had been compromised. George said he wants the company to be more forthcoming. I think their security department needs to be looked at. They should be sending out a monthly notice. Hey, there's scams going on. We all know scams going on. If you drive for any time, the scams that are going on. But he said he filed a police report and was told that it would be almost impossible for the police department to find anything tracing back to the scammer. So we're disgusted by these scammers preying on hardworking Uber drivers. We routinely remind drivers and riders to never share personal information such as passwords or verification codes with anyone, and we will never ask you for this information, said a spokesman from Uber. So this guy, he said he didn't, and it kind of skipped around because it never told exactly what happened. He just said he never gave them information, and then he said, then it skips to where it says he was given a card number to use to get the bonus. It never told what the bonus was or what he was supposed to do to get the bonus. So they left out a paragraph in there, it seems like.
Well, here's a big problem. A lot of these drivers, especially in these bigger cities, English is not their first language.
Sure.
And so they're picking up bits and pieces, and they may heard the highlighted words like bonus or extra money, and they're like, oh, okay, this must be legit. Yeah. And before you know it, you're fucked.
But I mean, how shocked are you that Uber is refunding this guy?
I'm shocked.
I'm absolutely shocked. Absolutely shocked.
You feel like
I've never seen this before.
You feel like the news had something to do with it. Like they were like really in Uber's ear and saying, hey, you need to do this. Although Uber's, they don't really get flustered by people. So
no, they pulled all sorts of stuff and bad press doesn't seem to bother them. But
right.
yeah, I was really shocked. I'm like, does this guy know somebody or at Uber or what's the deal? Why is this guy getting his money when we know there's been thousands upon thousands of other drivers who've been scammed who didn't get anything back?
Well, they may have had a weak moment in a board meeting, like, hey, we need some goodwill a little bit.
Could be.
Let's just float this. I mean, what's $1,300 for them? But
oh yeah, nothing. Yeah, who knows? Maybe some good news came out about Lyft that day or something, and they're like, we need some good news. So
yeah, but yeah, going back to that, I think the scammers are just taking advantage of these people that can't speak English. And
sure, and that's a lot. That is a lot. I mean, I hear it here in Bowling Green a lot that I get people that get in, they complain, or they're like, thank goodness you speak English. He's like, our last guy couldn't speak English. He drove like a maniac. We almost died 3 times,
Well, so the English part doesn't bother me because you really don't need to speak to drive. Like the app has everything there. You just drive there. But if you're driving like a maniac, that's different. And the problem is they don't have the long time behind the wheel. What do you what is the requirement for Uber? I wonder for like how long you have to have a driver's. You got to.
I think you just have to have a driver's license. I think that's
really.
It. Yeah.
Because I know don't you have to be like at least 21?
Yeah, you do have to be 21.
Like I know you can do DoorDash younger, but I think rideshare you have to be like 21. I thought, and it could vary depending on market, like we always say. But
yeah, I think it's. I'm gonna look and see if I can find.
All right. But yeah, I think they don't have a lot of. I mean, I've been driving since 16. I'm 48, so like every day of my life, I've been behind the wheel pretty much.
So it says you have to meet the minimum age to drive in your city, have at least 1 year of licensed driving experience in the U.S. 3 years if you're under 25 years old.
Okay. What was the age?
Well, this one, that's great. That doesn't sound right. It says meet the minimum age to drive in your city, but you can't do it at 16.
Nah, you got to be at least.
That must be for Uber Eats or something.
Yeah. Well, even that, you can't. You got a 16-year-old going into a bar to pick up food.
I'm telling you, I mean, this is on Uber's webpage. Driver requirement details, minimum requirements, meet the minimum age to drive in your city. That's what it says.
Well, that's part of it. But then it says if you're under 25, you need 3 years. So that puts you at 19.
18. Yeah, 18.
Well, 16.
16, 17, and 8. Yeah, 19. Yeah, so yeah, you'd be at least 19.
Yeah, so maybe that's why
we don't do math or geography.
Well, God, I mean, I know how to add 3 plus 16. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, thank you. Again, we were going to come up with some sort of like disclaimer at the beginning. You were going to do that?
We still need to do that.
I know we do. Okay, well, anyways, that being said, they don't have a lot of experience driving, and so they drive like idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And that and again, so it's what were we even fucking talking about? I totally just lost my train of thought. How did we go down we were talking about the scammer, why they got scammed because they don't speak English, blah 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 blah. Okay, so anyways, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't give them any information. All right, last thing, hopefully the site I just thought it was interesting. Hopefully the site why did Josh say laugh my ass off at Stevie? I don't get it. Anyways, it's a HuffPost site, but I was trying it on mobile and it was trash. But are male Instacart shoppers really that bad? The internet has spoken. They need to step up their game fast. So there's a couple of things. This person posted on X. Defund male Instacart shoppers immediately. And the shopper's like, unfortunately, Schweppes ginger ale isn't in stock. Would you like something else? And he sends a picture of Schweppes ginger ale. So one customer tweeted about having a pound of cheese replaced with 4 gallons of milk. Did he think I wanted to make it myself? My friend needed chicken stock and the dude replaced it with chicken feet. So there's a lot of going. Here's one. They were out of the Ben's original butter and garlic flavored rice, and so he replaced it with Bengay greaseless pain relieving cream. So it goes on to saying that a lot of the people cancel if a male is a shopper. She had to cancel an entire order one time because you could only find 1 out of 10 items. Another time, a man bought moldy fruit and expired food. So that being said, some of the, they talked about the rice into the Bengay.
Yeah.
Some of those, the app is stupid. It gives you the dumbest shit. Now, I don't know if Instacart is like that because it's been a hot second since I did Instacart, but I know DoorDash was notorious for like trying. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not even the
replacement
same thing.
Options.
Yeah. And you'd have to like override it, so on and so forth. So,
I think what needs to happen is Gabe needs to start a training class for the guys to shop because he does an excellent job.
Well, he does a great job, but he's only doing Costco. So he's not going he won't do Aldi. He's not going in and picking like produce and stuff like that. I think what it boils down to is for the most people in life, if you're just married and have kids and it's just a standard kind of family, the woman typically does the shopping. That's just
that's
I don't know why
it's right or wrong. That's just generally the way it is.
Yeah,
not for everybody, but for a large majority.
Yeah. So, it's not a sexist thing. I don't know why it is. Same reason why my wife has 300 nurses she works for, and 5 of them are male. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things. But I don't know why I didn't have a problem shopping. Yeah, it might have been a little bit slower, but I'm not a dumbass. I mean, they're basically like and again, it might be this article talked about in the bigger cities being like with a lot of immigrants and refugees and stuff like that. They just don't speak English and they don't understand the translation. So I'm not sure they should be doing that kind of shopping stuff. Like stick to driving. Maybe food delivery, maybe just delivering Panda. Maybe that's what you should be doing. Like I'm trying to help these fools out. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
No,
I ranted, and then you're like, I got nothing.
I got nothing to add. Yeah, I mean, and I'll admit that I'm certainly not as good a shopper as my wife.
Steve said, Jason, it's a man thing. The shoppers don't want guys. 100% sexist. I mean, I enjoyed it once I understood where things were. I liked it. I liked beating my time. Like it was kind of a competitive thing for it. Now, I will tell you, I never sweat more anxiety when you try to take 2 shops. I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Like trying to keep them separate and you're going like it was the absolute worst. When I see women do 2 or 3 shops at one time and they're just rocking it out, I'm like, holy shit, you're a badass.
Yeah. You're a whole nother species.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. And I give them a lot of props, but yeah, it might be a sexist thing. Just like, I don't know if I had a sick kid in the NICU and it was a male nurse, I might be like, I'd rather have a female, but I'm sure they're great. I just, you just have that feeling. So
yeah, for sure.
Steve said, glad you liked it, but women cancel when men are their shoppers. I've not experienced it, but I've literally only done like 60 shops on Instacart. So,
and I've done 0.
You've never done Instacart?
I signed up for Instacart and for Shipt, and like a week later, the pandemic.
Oh, well, that's the time to do it. That's what people cleaned up.
Yeah.
You weren't going to do it?
I did.
Oh my God, Steve, shut the fuck up. He's like the male sexual revolution. We're not talking about sex, Steve. We're talking about Instacart. Yes. Hey, go take a cold shower.
Calm down. We need to turn a hose on him.
Josh, get after him. Get after him.
Not in that way.
I mean, hey, if you want to, that's your business. Doesn't
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. So, yeah. All right, cool. Next week, Larry is going to be gone, and Gabe is going to be. Well, Gabe would have been here tonight. Larry's got to take his son back to St. Louis. And so it'll be Gabe and I. So we'll rock it out. We'll have a good time. And be Larista. What's that?
Yeah, you changed my name to Larista on Instacart, and you put my wife's picture on.
Oh, okay. I mean, you probably could do that. There's probably no security checks on Instacart. Not that I remember. They don't make you
take any photos or anything.
No. Yeah. I mean, it may have changed, but Larista.
Yeah. You know, I did a few shops when I was doing Walmart Spark. And it would always take me way longer than it said.
Oh, Walmart was the best because
you didn't have to wait like you do when they're bringing it out to your car.
But for a big grocery store, at least the one by ours, like I started mastering it, and I was like, okay, I know this shit. Now, was the app messed up? Of course, it never put them in order, and it was a shit show. Yeah. But if you knew your stuff, like the problem with Walmart is in like Meyer too. He's like, oh, I need a pair of socks. I'm like, why are you fucking having me looking for your socks?
Yeah, it's all the way on the other side of the store.
All the way on the other side. Or you need to get me an ice scraper, which is in the automotive, which is all the way on the other store. But yeah. Anyways, so all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I was a little late, but looks like we all had some fun. So, and as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
All right, peace out.
Good night, everybody.